$3.20. That's all it takes to make a bug spray so powerful it'll clear aphids, beetles, caterpillars, and mites from your entire garden in less than a week. And here's the part that's going to sound insane. It works better than neem oil, better than pyrethrin, better than anything you'll find at the garden center. The secret ingredient? It's sitting in your kitchen right now. Most people walk right past it every single day and never realize they're looking at the most powerful natural pesticide on the planet. Now, before we dive in, hit that subscribe button for SproutCycle Garden. We drop videos every week showing you how to grow healthier plants without spending a fortune or using chemicals. Like, share, and comment so this video reaches other gardeners who are tired of spending money on chemicals without results. We've got a ton more coming your way. Okay, let's get straight into it. Here's what most gardeners do when bugs attack. They panic. They rush to the store. They grab the first spray they see with big promises on the label. They spend $15, $20, maybe $30. They spray their plants, and you know what happens? It works for a few days, maybe a week if they're lucky. Then the bugs come back. So they spray again and again. And before they know it, they've spent $100 in a month and they're still fighting the same battle. I'm going to show you how to end that cycle completely. This recipe I'm about to share works in every growing zone, from zone 3 all the way to zone 11. It works in containers on your balcony. It works in raised beds in your backyard. It works in greenhouses. Anywhere you're growing plants, this spray will protect them. The best time to apply is early morning, right after the dew dries, or in the evening when the sun is low. This timing matters because you don't want the spray sitting on leaves in the harsh midday sun. That can cause leaf burn. But apply it in the cooler parts of the day and your plants will absorb it perfectly. Let me tell you exactly what you need. I want you to go check your kitchen right now because I guarantee you already have most of this. Ingredient number 1, water. You need 1 gallon. That's 16 cups if you measure it that way. Ingredient number 2, garlic. 6 to 8 fresh cloves. If you only have garlic powder, you can use that, but fresh is always better. Ingredient number 3, cayenne pepper. 2 tablespoons. You can also substitute with crushed red pepper flakes if that's what you have. Ingredient number 4, dish soap. 1 tablespoon. Any mild dish soap works fine. Just make sure it's not antibacterial because that can actually harm beneficial insects. And that's your arsenal. 4 simple ingredients. Nothing exotic, nothing expensive, nothing with a skull and crossbones on the label. Now let me walk you through making this step by step because the process matters just as much as the ingredients. First, take your garlic cloves, peel 6 to 8 of them, then crush them up really well. You can use a garlic press, you can mince them with a knife, or you can even just smash them with the flat side of a large spoon. The goal is to break down the cell walls and release all those powerful compounds inside. Once they're crushed, throw them into a pot with about 2 cups of water. Put that pot on the stove and bring it to a boil. As soon as it starts boiling, reduce the heat and let it simmer for 10 to 12 minutes. What's happening here is critical. You're extracting sulfur compounds from the garlic, specifically allicin and other organosulfurs. These are the molecules that give garlic its smell and its insect-repelling power. The heat helps pull them. While your garlic is simmering, grab your cayenne pepper. Measure out 2 tablespoons. Keep it nearby because you're going to add it soon. Now here's something important. When you're working with cayenne, be careful not to touch your face or eyes. That stuff is no joke. If you have sensitive skin, you might want to wear gloves. After your garlic water has simmered for about 10 minutes, turn off the heat. This next step is crucial. Let it cool down completely. I mean completely, room temperature. This usually takes about 30 to 40 minutes. Do not skip this step. If you add soap to hot water, the heat can break down the soap molecules and you'll lose effectiveness. Once the garlic water is cool, strain out all the solid garlic pieces. You only want the liquid. I use a fine mesh strainer, but cheesecloth works great too. Pour that strained garlic water into your gallon container. Then add the rest of your water to bring the total up to 1 full gallon. Now add your 2 tablespoons of cayenne pepper. Stir it really well. The cayenne won't dissolve completely, and that's okay. It'll stay suspended in the water. Finally, add 1 tablespoon of dish soap. The soap is what we call a surfactant. What that means in plain English is it makes the water wetter. It breaks surface tension so the spray spreads across leaves instead of beating up and rolling off. It also helps everything stick. Give your entire mixture a really thorough shake. You want everything blended together. Then pour it into whatever spray bottles you have. I like using a 1-gallon pump sprayer because it makes the job faster, but regular spray bottles work just fine. If you're using smaller bottles, just make sure you shake them before each use because the cayenne will settle to the bottom. Now let's talk about what this actually costs you, because this is where it gets really satisfying. 1 gallon of this spray costs between $3 to $4 to make. Let's break that down. A bulb of garlic, about 50 cents. Cayenne pepper, 2 tablespoons from a bottle you already own, maybe 30 cents. Dish soap, 1 tablespoon, basically free, maybe 10 cents. Water, free. Total cost, roughly $3, maybe $4 if you're buying everything brand new. Now compare that to what you'd spend at the garden center. A quart of neem oil costs anywhere from $12 to $20, and you're supposed to reapply it weekly. That's 4 quarts a month, so you're looking at $50, $60, maybe $80 a month just on neem oil. Pyrethrin spray? That's usually $15 to $18 per bottle. Most bottles are 24 ounces. You'll go through 2 or 3 bottles a month easily. That's another $40 to $50. Commercial bug sprays that claim to be organic, those can run $20, $25, even $30 for a small bottle. Meanwhile, your homemade spray costs $3 and lasts just as long, if not longer. You're saving $50, $60, $70 every single month. Over a growing season, that's $400, $500 back in your pocket. And here's the bonus. No warning labels, no hazard symbols, no instructions about wearing gloves or keeping pets away. Just ingredients you could literally... Let me explain exactly why this spray works, so you understand you're not just throwing random kitchen stuff at your plants and hoping for the best. There's real science here. Garlic contains sulfur compounds. The main one is called allicin. When you crush garlic and heat it, you release allicin into the water. Now here's what allicin does to insects. It scrambles their nervous system. Bugs have incredibly sensitive smell receptors. When they encounter allicin, it overwhelms their senses. They become disoriented and confused. Think of it like walking into a room filled with the strongest, most pungent smell you can imagine. You'd leave immediately. That's what bugs do when they smell this spray. But here's the beautiful part. It doesn't harm the plant. It doesn't harm beneficial insects like bees, ladybugs, or lacewings once it dries. It just makes your plant completely unappealing to pests. Now let's talk about cayenne pepper. Cayenne contains capsaicin. That's the compound that makes it spicy to us. But bugs process capsaicin very differently than humans do. To them, it's not just spicy, it's painful. When capsaicin touches their exoskeleton, it causes intense irritation. When they try to eat a leaf coated with it, it burns their mouth parts. They learn immediately that your plants are not food. They'll move on to easier targets. And the dish soap serves 2 purposes. First, as I mentioned, it helps the spray stick to leaves. Without soap, most of the spray would just roll off and you'd be wasting your time. Second, soap has an additional pest control benefit. It clogs the spiracles on soft-bodied insects. Spiracles are the tiny breathing holes on their bodies. When soap coats these holes, the insects suffocate. It's particularly effective against aphids, whiteflies, and spider mites. It sounds harsh, but remember, these insects are destroying your plants. This spray gives you a way to protect your garden without resorting to synthetic chemicals that can harm everything around them. Let's address safety head-on, because this matters. You need to know what you're putting in your garden and whether it's safe for your family and pets. Garlic? Completely non-toxic to dogs, cats, birds, chickens, and children. It's food. You eat it regularly. Yes, if a dog ate an entire bulb of raw garlic, it could cause stomach upset, but the diluted amount in this spray? Harmless. Cayenne pepper? Also non-toxic. It's spicy, that's it. If your dog licks a sprayed leaf, worst case scenario, they'll sneeze, maybe paw at their nose, and they'll learn not to do it again. They won't get sick. Dish soap, as long as you're using a mild plant-based soap, it's safe. Avoid antibacterial soaps and heavy chemical detergents. Stick to simple dish soap and you're fine. Your kids can play in the garden 30 minutes after you spray. That's how long it takes to dry. Your dog can run through the plants. Your cat can rub against them. No harm done. Now let's talk about pollinators, because I know that's a big concern for a lot of gardeners. This spray is safe for bees, butterflies, and other beneficial insects, but there's one rule you need to follow. Do not spray it directly on open flowers while pollinators are actively feeding. The wet soap can temporarily gum up their wings and make it hard for them to fly. So here's what you do. Spray early in the morning before bees are out. Bees typically start foraging around 8 or 9 a.m. once the sun warms things up. So if you spray at 6 or 7 a.m., you're good. Or spray in the evening after sunset when all the pollinators have gone home for the night. Once the spray dries, and that only takes about 30 minutes, it's completely harmless to bees. They'll land on your flowers, collect pollen and nectar, and fly away healthy. The dried residue won't affect them at all. One more safety note. If you're growing vegetables, you can harvest and eat them the same day you spray. Just rinse them off like you normally would. Rinse with water and you're removing any residual garlic or cayenne. Then cook or eat as usual. There's no waiting period, no worrying about residue. It's garlic, pepper, and soap. All things you use in your kitchen anyway. Let me give you detailed instructions on how to apply this spray for maximum effectiveness. First, timing and frequency. If you're using this as a preventative measure, spray once a week, every 7 days. That's enough to keep bugs from ever establishing themselves. If you already have an active infestation, spray every 3 days until the bugs are gone. Usually takes 1 to 2 weeks of consistent application. Then you can switch to weekly maintenance. Second, coverage is absolutely critical. You need to spray both the tops and the bottoms of leaves. Most people only spray the top and then wonder why it doesn't work. Here's why the undersides matter. Aphids, whiteflies, and spider mites all prefer to feed on the undersides of leaves. That's where they lay their eggs. That's where they hide. If you don't spray there, you're missing 50% of the problem. So flip those leaves over and make sure they get coated. You don't need to drench your plants. A light, even mist is perfect. You want to see the leaves look slightly wet, but you don't want liquid dripping off. If it's dripping, you're using too much. After rain, reapply within 24 hours. Rain washes the spray off completely, so as soon as it's dry enough to get back in your garden, spray again. This is important. Don't let your guard down after a storm. That's when bugs love to move in. For storage, you can keep mixed spray in a sealed container in your refrigerator for up to 2 weeks. The cool temperature keeps it fresh. Just shake it really well before using it because the cayenne will settle. And please, label your containers clearly. You don't want anyone accidentally using this thinking it's something else. Now let me tell you about the 3 biggest mistakes people make with this spray so you can avoid them. Mistake number 1, using too much soap. People think more soap means better results. Wrong. Too much soap can actually damage plant leaves. It can cause burning or yellowing. Stick to 1 tablespoon per gallon. That's the sweet spot. Measure it. Don't eyeball it. Mistake number 2, spraying in full sun. If you spray when the sun is directly overhead and beating down hard, the cayenne can actually magnify heat and burn your leaves. Plus, the spray evaporates too quickly and doesn't have time to work. Always spray early in the morning or evening. Always. Mistake number 3, giving up too soon. If you spray once and still see some bugs 2 days later, don't assume it didn't work. Bugs have life cycles. You're killing adults, but eggs might still hatch. You're deterring new arrivals, but some stubborn ones might hang around for a few more days. Consistency is key. Spray every 3 days for 2 weeks if you have an infestation. Trust the process. Before we close out, I want to give you 4 bonus tips that'll make this spray even more powerful. Bonus tip number 1, add a splash of vegetable oil, about 2 teaspoons per gallon. Oil helps the spray stick even better, and it also coats insect bodies, making it harder for them to breathe. It's an extra layer of protection. Bonus tip number 2, use the garlic you are going to throw away. You know when garlic cloves start sprouting those green shoots, or when you have garlic that's getting a little soft? Perfect for this spray. Don't waste money on fresh garlic if you've got older cloves hanging around. They work just as well. Bonus tip number 3, double up with onion. If you have an onion that's going soft or onion scraps from cooking, boil them along with your garlic. Onions have similar sulfur compounds and they boost the potency. Bonus tip number 4, always test on a small section first. Take 1 plant, spray just a couple of leaves, and wait 24 hours. Make sure there's no negative reaction. Most plants handle this beautifully, but a few sensitive varieties like young seedlings or certain ferns can be touchy. Better to test first than spray your whole garden and discover a problem. Here's the reality. Garden centers make money selling you expensive solutions to problems you can solve for pennies. They want you to believe that effective pest control has to be complicated and costly. It doesn't. For $3 and about 20 minutes of your time, you can make a spray that outperforms products costing 10 times as much. You can protect your plants without exposing your family, your pets, or the environment to harsh chemicals. You can save hundreds of dollars every single growing season. When your neighbors are complaining about aphids destroying their roses, your roses will be pristine. When they're watching caterpillars devour their tomatoes, your tomatoes will be perfect. And when they ask what your secret is, you can smile and tell them it cost you $3. If this video helped you, please subscribe to SproutCycle Garden. Drop a comment, like and share this video so it gets to gardeners spending a fortune on pesticides. We put out new content every single week to help you grow a healthier, more productive garden without the expense and chemicals. Hit that subscribe button. Thank you for being here. Thank you for trusting me with your garden. Now go make that spray. Get out there and take back your garden from the bugs. Happy gardening. And remember, the most powerful solutions are often the simplest ones.